Doubles and coffee. The Arthur Lockjack School of Business. Now, we don't know who made this statement, but the School of Business, named after Arthur Lockjack, says, don't change boards automatically. Just wholesale changing of members of boards is wrong and could provide complications with governance. Listen, let me first of all remind you all who Arthur Lockjack is. Who is the man that the school is named after. Now, I don't know if he tell the board of directors or tell whoever in charge or the principal to make the statement, but Arthur Lockjack is a PNM, okay? Arthur Lockjack is a PNM man who everybody told him, don't build a hotel in the sea in Tobago across there because it will depreciate and it will not stand up to the elements because of the wind and the sand and the salt on that side of the Tobago Island. Arthur Lockjack decided to ignore everybody, all the bright engineers, everybody, build the hotel, and then the PNM government, when the hotel started to rot, took out $110 million and give it to Arthur Lockjack to bail him out of the hotel. Arthur Lockjack is the PNM man who was going to buy a $400 million jet for Patrick PNM Manning to fly in. And when the story came out and people realized this madness that was going on with Bombardier, who was also bidding for a rapid rail system, Arthur Lockjack watched the people and said, well, you feel, if I give you back that $400 million, you feel you will get beds in your hospital, as he was PNM chairman of CAL. Arthur Lockjack is a man built Carlton Savannah. And when I on the radio with Dennis Hall, a.k.a. Sprangalang, and Christopher Sion on Power 102.1 FM, I heard that Carlton Savannah was in terrible debt and that Karen Nunes Teixeira, the Minister of Finance of the PNM, and the PNM government were considering bailing out Arthur Lockjack to the tune of $310 million. I busted on the radio back then in 2007, 2008, and they stopped it. However, then they had the chugum, and we know that the Queen stay in Carlton Savannah, and up to now, we ain't know how much the PNM pay Carlton Savannah, which is Arthur Lockjack, for that stay of the Queen during chugum 2008. Let me tell you more about Arthur Lockjack. In the People Partnership Cabinet, the government, 2010-2015. Now, I go divulge it since all you want to talk, because I just keep cabinet thing, quiet. But since all you want to talk, I have to tell the people, because full transparency, full accountability, and this thing not going the same way this time for the PNM media and the PNM sycophants and PNM plans to create couture and stop the progress of Kamla Persad Bissessa. I went World Cup 2010, South Africa. Normally, I don't like all them flam thing and thing. I just sit down regular and watch my football and thing. But that flam was nice flam. Because Austin Jack Warner was also vice president of FIFA. So thing was nice. I see 2 semi-final in the World Cup. I see the final. I see Morgan Freeman. I shake Mandela hand. So I really enjoy myself for that one. You understand? I can't lie. I enjoy the hype on that occasion. When I came back, plenty bacchanal in the government of the People Partnership. Big battle going on between Winston Dukaran, the leader of the Congress of the People, and Austin Jack Warner, a powerful member of the UNC, a high government official, the Minister of Works and Transport. So I come back to the cabinet, I miss one meeting, and I come back, and I see all kind of thing on my desk about the responsibilities and roles of Corporation Soul and all. I say, but when I read that, I say, but I don't know that. What them put that on a cabinet table forward being Montessori? When I sit down and listen to what was going on, Winston Dukaran, my leader at that time, at Congress of the People, fighting to tell Jack Austin Warner that Arthur Lockjack must remain as chairman of Caribbean Airlines. That PNM Arthur Lockjack, Winston Dukaran, wanted to keep PNM Arthur Lock Jack, and that it was he, Corporation Sole, who was responsible for board appointments. So I watched and I listened. Now, many boards had been appointed before, and the process that we had taken was the Minister of Sport, for example. I recommended my sport company members, boards, lawyers, sports people, qualified people, business people, marketing, masters, and so on. And then it went to the cabinet, the board's committee. They vetted and checked the qualifications, and then the board was appointed. But the board was appointed on the minister, my recommendation, and then Corporation Sole gave out the instruments of appointment, normal. But for Arthur Lock Jack, Winston Dukaran wanted to change this process and say that he, Winston Dukaran, usurping the authority of Austin Jack Warner, the minister who swore on the Bible to be the Minister of Works and Transport, to leave Arthur Lock Jack as chairman of CAL. And Winston Dukaran didn't want to budge. This is where I started to fall out with Winston Dukaran. Because this was about the third rich man, top of the toppers, big Benz driving billionaire, 100 millionaire, that Dukaran come to fight for. And I had believed, stupidly, that when Dukaran talk about fighting for the small man from the bottom up, I thought, and I believed that, I thought we gone in there to help poor people first, those most in need, the vulnerable. But here it is, Dukaran of the COP coming to fight only for rich man. Conrad Aliong, Yetming, Jerry Yetming, two very wealthy fellas who have done very well, and now Arthur Lock Jack. And I look across at Winston Dukaran and I said, but leader, minister, why is it this change? We have young people across who voted for us, who have very bright new ideas, who could lead Caribbean Airlines and so on. Why you want to leave this PNM Lock Jack? Is this the same Lock Jack who built a hotel in the sea and it mash up and PNM give him 110 million? Is it the same Lock Jack who say if we give back the money for the jet if we feel we will get hospital beds? Is this the same Lock Jack who Carlton Savannah PNM was going to bail him out 310 million? Dukaran look across at me and say, Minister, this is billion-dollar business. You stick to football, you wouldn't understand. Well, but anyway, I wouldn't tell you what happened after that. But I bring this point to tell you, this is the same Lock Jack, the same, now his institution, I don't know if he's the man making that statement or telling, but the institution that is named after this one, who feel that because he has money, and he could have friends on all sides, that he and people like him must stay in charge of our state assets and other people must not get a chance to provide direction, to implement policy, and to make a turnaround in different agencies. Fire burn all them PNM with the nonsense. You believed in the PNM philosophy. You believed in Rowley's philosophy. You believe in Rowley's rich get richer philosophy. You believed in Rowley's recusal philosophy. You believe in Rowley's arrogant philosophy. You believe in Rowley's corrupt web of corruption, interlocking directorships of Inez Gate, neighbors, friends, and family controlling the people's money. You believed in the ignorance and oppression and dictatorial tactics of the PNM. You cannot simultaneously believe in the heart and the care and the love of the Kamla Persad-Bissessor-led UNC government. You cannot simultaneously believe in Kamla wanting the resources to be used for the masses, for the people, to uplift those most in need, children, single mothers, the hospitals, food cards, poverty eradication. The two things are not the same side of a coin. You cannot simultaneously believe that rich must get richer and sprinkle crumbs on everybody else, and then also say that you will implement Kamla Persad-Bissessor's policy of her society where the Constitution is upheld and resources are used for the betterment of the masses, of the most people, to uplift those, to create a society where people could strive and encourage them to achieve their goals. You believed in Rowley. You believed in Smallpin. They lost. They were rejected. Go your way. This nonsense about leave board members because y'all feel y'all are entitled and elite and rich and must stay in control. No, Lockjack. You had one or two friends even in a government of that is not PNM, but not again. The country is full of bright, intelligent, brilliant people who want an opportunity to serve, who've never had an opportunity to serve. Kamla Prasad has collected thousands of resumes and will give people a chance. Don't try to say leave PNM board members there. To do what? To do what Imbat said? Not account for $2.6 billion? To take all of the money and go in cabinet and recuse yourselves and make ministers richer and board members richer? To keep Angostura in there where the fraud squad had to go, the board members, all the nonsense using the assets of Angostura as if it's their own personal thing, to keep lifetimes of roofing going and all sorts of marketing, everything going in one direction because it's Faris' friend. No, you lost. The people rejected all of you, not just Rowley, not just Smallpin, not just a Talbot ride a horse with an 8-year-old, not just Camille, not just Foster, not just Gatsby Dolly, not just Imbot. The PNM was rejected en masse. All of you, all the board members, all of you who were implementing the PNM's oppressive policy, you all were all rejected. So Arthur Lockjack School, where there's Arthur Lockjack, the man who was named, the school was named after, all people in his likeness. The days of the rich controlling this country and controlling both parties or any government or remaining there to continue to get richer, them days done. Because now we must equate, we must bring equity to the system. We must allow opportunity for our children when they are bright to move up or forward, not because who your daddy was. Who cares who your daddy was? Go and study hard, be disciplined, and you will get an opportunity to serve your country. So Arthur Lockjack Business School, fire burn all you, because the only reason Arthur Lockjack businesses made money was the PNM propped him up. He had a PNM crutch. The PNM supported him when he failed and he was a failure. Others made it on their own. Kamla Prasad is the Prime Minister. She must be given the respect and responsibility to put people in place who believe in her heart, in her soul, in her mind, in her spirit to help the masses of people, especially those most in need. So leave Kamla, leave the UNC, and go all your way and try to rebuild that institution of oppression, that PNM nonsense, and get ready to find the bills for the Balize house. Who did the roof for Balize house? Was it a lifetime of roofing? Who did the foundation? Was it a big lighter? Who did that? All of you who donated material, have your bills ready, you know, because Jolene John and Rudal Munilal say, when the investigation done, Balize House would be a great place with air condition for the homeless and the poor to go and get food, sleep, and rest their head. Not for the corrupt PNM. And give back Trinity School. Give them back the land for the children to play. Bless. So Lockjack, all you go all the way. PNM lost.